My people, how are we doing on this fine Thursday? I hope everyone is well. Make sure you check out redhillcutlery.com, Satu Dave on YouTube, Timbo437, and My Bad Adventures, all on YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button, please and thank you. And if you do, you will automatically, without question, be entered to win these nuts. Make sure you subscribe so you can get in on any giveaways. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find the info to do so in the description. All donations will be used 100% for Knives for content, even the money from Patreon, which the Patreon link will be in the description as well. I plan on doing quite a bit of stuff on Patreon once I get it up and rolling. Today's stickers, Violent Little Machine Shop. I like these stickers. I know there's a few of them already on here, but alright, space covering and Yeti. Not sure if I'm sure everybody's familiar with Yeti, but if you don't have any Yeti products, yes, they are super freaking expensive, but they really are worth it. I have a couple coolers that we use for camping and for, hell, I got one in the back of my truck for work too. Holds ice for days if you keep it out of the sun. And even if you don't keep it out of the sun, it holds at least 48 hours. And then I have one for my wife too. Anyway, Yeti's good stuff. They are quite expensive, but it's worth it in my opinion. All right, today we're going to talk about opening mechanisms for knives. Which ones I like, which ones I dislike, and which ones I like better than others. One moment. All right, I had to shut my dogs up as usual. All right, so in my opinion, there's four main deployments for a manual folding knife. You have thumb stud, flipper, thumb hole of some sort, and front flipper. Out of those four, my least favorite is front flipper. Now this knife just so happens to have another opening mechanism, but we're going to ignore that for right now. To me, I don't really understand the need for front flipper. I get it though, it's something different. Certain knives that are front flippers are amazing. The Sham Burger makes a really awesome front flipper. This is an excellent front flipper. Vero makes a great front flipper. But in order for me to own a front flipper for any amount of time, it needs to have a secondary opening mechanism. So really, honestly, the front flipper is, out of those four, is my least favorite. Second least favorite, this would be number 3, would be your standard flipper. To me, it's just boring, and that's really the only problem I have with it. You can only do it one way. Well, you know, I get it. You can do it other ways too, but it just gets boring. And if you're in the mood to sit there and fidget with it, there's only so much fidgeting you can do with a regular flipper. So that is why that's not really my jam. I do, obviously, multiple options is going to be best. All right, number 2 is thumb studs. I love a good thumb stud knife. It is my second favorite only because it's, well, just because. Love a thumb stud. To me, it's just more comfortable. It is more fidgety because, especially if it's double-sided thumb studs, there are knives that are single-sided thumb stud, and to me, that's as bad as a flipper. So it needs to be both sides thumb studs, in my opinion. That is preferable. And my very favorite is thumb hole or finger hole, but a hole in general. Spyderco, lots and lots of knives have hole opening, and that's my absolute favorite. Barely topping the thumb stud, but you know, I just think the hole is a little better, easier for slow rolling, which you can slow roll a thumb stud. This one's kind of difficult because it has such a good, detent. You really have to try. You kind of have to use this finger also and pinch it out a little bit before slow rolling it. But the finger hoe is absolutely my favorite. There's also like button locks. There's some that you can open with the button itself. I don't really count those. Or automatics, like that'll have a button or a switch if it's an out the front. Or hell, some side opening automatics or have switches as well. I'm not an automatic guy. They're okay. They're just not my thing. I prefer the manual knife. And to me, you know, these open just as fast as an auto. I mean, I don't really. I think autos are kind of obsolete for that reason. And again, like I said, multiple options is absolute best for me. This one you can't really. You can use these as thumb studs, but they're not. They're not designed for that. They are to catch on the right here on the handle to stop the blade, and most knives have it usually on the inside. I didn't see that. This one has them on the inside, or no, it's right here. Dumbass. Anyway, so what is your favorite and why? Don't bother telling me what your favorite is if you can't explain why. I know flippers are extraordinarily popular, and then I believe thumb stud is going to be the next. That is, you know, as far as what everybody else likes. That's how I think that's going to go. If you think something different, let me know. Also, I am going to start making strops again. I've made them in the past, lots of them, and I sell them. They are made out of excellent materials, leathers, and poplar wood, or actually I have other wood too. I have some higher end stuff like some wormy maple. Sometimes I can get my hands on purple heartwood. If you're interested in a strop, I sell them for $20 a piece, and I know that you can get them cheaper than that, but for the most part, I use calf skin and kangaroo leathers, and almost always, unless you ask for something else, I will use a really dense poplar that stays straight. Here, let me show you. Stays straight and doesn't bend or sag or curl. It's a really stable wood, so you don't have to worry about your strop getting screwed up. If it gets wet, or obviously if it gets wet, dry it off. Don't be a dumb shit. Anyway, if anybody's interested, I'm going to start making some more. I have a decent amount of kangaroo leather right now, and I have some calf. This stuff feels great, and it works really good. I use them on my own knives. So it's $20 shipped. That's including the shipping cost. And I hand sand all these with sanding blocks or sandpaper, and all the way down to a 1500 grit. So it's very comfortable in your hand when you're using it to strop. And if you do not know how to strop, I will probably... There's a million videos out there for that. I'm not even going to bother. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Make sure you subscribe, share. Check out Satu Dave, Timbo437, and My Bad Adventures. And if you're interested, make sure you check out Patreon. And please hit the like button because you know you want these nuts.